Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the J22 Report. I am your host, Johnnie Market. You all know that drill. Smash that like button, subscribe if you already haven't. Just remember the disclaimer nothing should be construed as financial investment advice. These are just my opinions, thoughts on the markets. Read more on the disclaimer below. And let's get into today's stuff. We're gonna talk about a couple of things, and let's see. Don't need that. So first thing talked about getting into, we'll get into the Fed, but anyway, cities where buying a house is the most and least. What the? Sorry, I was seeing this. I was looking at this, and when I saw this title, it was in some cities. They said zero, not even a zero. Uh, a 0% mortgage could people afford? So let's see if that. So let's see where it says. I thought it actually. So here it is. In some markets, I'm going to highlight it here. Even a 0% mortgage wouldn't make homes affordable. So that was the thing that it said. And basically, what this says is a combination of higher prices, higher rates has put home ownership out of reach for millions of renters and has taken the toll on the housing market. Even in communities where prices have cooled, owners are reluctant to sell if they can't get the best asking price. So you look at this, but the reality is even if mortgage rates were at zero at some places, they won't be able to afford it. So prices are going to come down. We don't know exactly when, but I think it will be soon over the next couple of years. And look at this homeowners insurance premiums risen by 57%. And where was that? I was looking at this, but yeah, you can tell that, prices are way too high and they're going to have to come down. So that's basically what I was saying. That's the state of the housing market. I think it will, especially with layoffs and bankruptcies, among everything else. I'm going to go looking into those things. Uh, and this is another thing that caught my problem, which I thought was also a thing, which I think shows how bad the economy is. It's America's alarming depression problems. And basically, depression remains an ongoing problem in the U.S. at historically high rates. So, report percentage of U.S. adults suffering or receiving treatment for depression has been higher than 18% over the past 2 years. A decade ago, it was just over 10%. So you can tell depression rates, and look at this, the increase is alarming. And they talk about explore all possibilities. The reason why is there's no hope. So they're depressed that most people, especially under 50, there's no hope. They're stuck in a life they're in. There's no way out, no matter what they do. A lot of people probably want to leave America. They can't. They could be losing their job. They could be losing uh, a lot more medical insurance. Trust me, I know. Those medical things are those medical bills. They are bad. But I think a lot of this is there's a lack of hope. People are in a bad spot, and it shows how bad the economy. I think we're in a worse economy than '08. One of the reasons is the job market's as bad. And two, if you lost your job, I mean, if you didn't lose your job in '08, at least when you went to go get gas, the price was cheaper than it was in '06 and '07. When you went to the grocery store, the prices were lower. We don't even get the good thing. Now, there's no good thing about, recession and people losing their jobs. But the good thing is when that happens, prices lower, uh, salaries lower. In fact, let me see if I can find this. Most people don't know this, but let me see if I can find this. 2009 were lower than last year. This is let me see. Well, I'm going by memory on this. I can't find this, but in fact, in 2009, the free agents in Major League Baseball were actually lower. And baseball is one of the sports. They don't have a big TV deal. So they do have to make it up on sales and ticket and revenue. And with the recession, the players' salaries had to come down. Now, I personally think these athletes' salaries over the next 10 to 20 years are going to come down because we don't have the economy to support them. And I think it will come down. I don't know exactly when. I think big corporations are propping up the ticket sales. And one company I used to work for, they used to give out free baseball tickets. And so it's basically like as a prize, it's people they liked. I got them all the time, actually. And that's basically what I think's propping it up. But when they have to cut cost, I think that will change. So anyway, you're just gonna have to take my word for it. I tried looking it up, but it was in 2009, so 2000 free agent signings. Let's see, were less than last year. Let's see if that's no. Let's see if this is it. If this thing doesn't come, then you're just gonna have to take my word for it, or just trust me. Ooh, let's see. Of course, they can't let. Let's see if we can. Of course. Look at this. See, so here, number of MLB free agent signings up, but average contract falls. So the average contract is so. Here's the other one. Heavy truck sales have hit a 4-year low in 2025. Industry struggles points to a downturn ahead. So the average truck sales, these are falling sharply, dropping to levels not seen in 4 years. Recent sales down year over year. So if heavy truck sales, that means businesses aren't, moving. They're not moving stuff across country. This is really like if you look at these types of trucks, these have cargo and things. So drop in sales and weakening industry activity. So there you go. You look at this. They're weighing more than 14,000 pounds. Leading indicator of health. This is freights, logistics, manufacturing supply chains. So here you go. Heavy truck sales, 4 years low. And there you go. We'll get into the Fed. I mean, that was the big thing, but these are just things I wanted to get into. Another thing I showed, I thought this was interesting, the Happy Meal indicator. And this is basically when kids' meals are being. It is basically if they're using them for value. They're. It's basically adults are getting priced out of adult-sized meals. So now they're ordering kids' meals. So about 44% of adults ordering their own meals from the kids' menus, and 1/3 of them are buying them because they're more budget friendly. So that's why they're buying them. They're buying them because they're more budget friendly. They're not they're not buying them out of nostalgia. I don't even know, does McDonald's still give toys? If they do, they're not as cool as when I was a kid. I mean, gosh, everything's worse. So anyway, a lot of people they're buying kids meals because, well, maybe they have a salary of a kid. And I'm not saying that to insult them. I'm just saying that because the cost of living's gotten so astronomical. So the other one, Kentucky bourbon brands, they're seeing plunging sales. They're saying, are Trump's tariffs to blame? No. The reason people are drinking less alcohol is because I think it's because people can't afford to. I don't think it's because I don't think it's health. Look at Americans. And two, I just don't buy it's health or whatever. I think the reason they're drinking, they're not drinking, is it's the easiest thing to cut out of a budget. A bottle of scotch, a bottle of whiskey, it's it's expensive. It'll break the bank. You get a cocktail at a bar. So here's the other one, rising. Look at this. I just thought this was funny. Shrinkflation is now mainstream. We are now mainstream. Rising grocery prices could lead. Where the hell are they? Where have they been the last 5 years? Could lead? We've experienced shrinkflation since 2022, in my opinion. Well, I'm just saying my opinion because, you never know. They might be like, oh, you stated it as a fact. You're liable, but whatever. So here's the other thing. Fed signals two more cuts, raises GDP forecast. Of course, but what does the Fed say today? I was gonna Disney hikes prices. What did they say? I mean, I thought this was on. Of course. Yeah, it was interesting. Basically, what Powell said is that there's no safe way. There's no safe way. There's no risk-free path. And the truth is, the reason they're saying this now is it's become so obvious that the Fed is trapped. We'll just stop doing this. And the Fed is trapped because all they did was create a bigger. I mean, I don't want to lecture about they printed money, they didn't let the market work. Like, you already know that. I mean, it's the point of me talking about that. But they're trapped. But the thing is, you can only lie for so long. They now have to admit they're trapped. And this is what I said. They can manipulate and manipulate and manipulate, but you can't manipulate forever. You can't lie forever. And they're at the point where they at least have to admit the economy's weak because they want to keep asset prices up. That's what they want to do. And they eventually have to tell some truth about the economy. So anyway, let's go over, man. Unreal how gold and silver they've been on a tear lately. And I have to admit, I've trimmed some. So, I mean, trimming positions is different than selling out. If you've watched this channel, you know my position. Silver, whereas this year or next, is going to break 50. Not saying I'm right. And to prove that shows like you can't go by one saying, I've been getting on camera and saying publicly, not financial advice, but gold's going to go to 3,000. But that's not the end. And then I said, next target, silver is going to 50 and going to break it. Now, we could be an intermediate term top. I don't know. But the last couple of days, I've just been trimming and trimming. And I don't want to say how much money because it's just public or whatnot. I'm not Warren Kitty where he actually showed his portfolio. I never will do that. But I have a good amount of cash now. And I probably only trimmed like 3 to 4% of my portfolio. I've never seen this much money in my life. And I personally think it's either going to go near 50 and then correct and then break 50 after the correction, or it's going to go and break 50 and that will be it. It will be gone for another 4 to 5 years. My opinion, it's gone up a lot, and it could go up like this for another 3 to 4 months, and it breaks 50, go and boom, but anyway, the truth is, no one. I'm not going to BS. I don't BS. No one knows the future. Just point blank. No one knows the future. And to show that, even I don't even know if I'm correct or not, I've been trimming my positions just because I want to take some profits. And that's what I mean. Is that even though I'm very confident, I'm so confident I'm going on camera talking about what I think. But the truth is, not even I'm that confident in my own prediction, even though I should be. And that's why I'm trimming. And so, I mean, that's why I say, like, always make sure it's your decision. Because even when it's my decision, I'm like, oh, I remember I was looking at my account and I was like, should I sell a little? Should I sell a little? And I was like, I will kill myself if we go in another multi-year correction and I didn't sell any and this was near the top. And so that's why I just trimmed and trimmed and trimmed. It's so that's what I mean when I tell you, like, make sure it's your decision. Because one, I'm not a financial advisor. Uh, two, this isn't financial advice. But three is like, even though I'm so strong in my feeling that I think silver's gonna go break 50 or not, even I have doubts in the back of my head. And you know that because I've been trimming my positions. If I knew for sure that silver's going to break 50, go to 65, 70 or whatnot, I wouldn't have sold anything. Well, actually, no, I didn't know when I lost my job and I had all those car loans, I had to sell. So that was a different thing. But I've trimmed here and there. Once silver broke 40, I've been trimming. Huey's around 600, 500, I've been trimming some. And so it's just, I mean, I've been through bear markets, so I know. Once you enter one, and I think this will be true for the stock market, that stock market will be the mother of bear markets, in my opinion. Not financial advice. I think it can go on for like 10 or 12 years, even 20. I don't know exactly what. So, anyway, these are my opinions, my thoughts. Just remember, not financial investment advice, not a financial advisor, and always use caution. Like I'm using caution. I'm trimming because I'm being cautious, even though, so we'll see what happens. You know my opinion. I've been saying it for a while. And if you look at the gold and silver, like, is it, let me know, have I been correct on that? Have I been correct? Like, can you have a channel? I said gold 3,000, next silver to 50. So have I been correct? So, I mean, I'm not perfect. No one is. That's one reason I say make sure every decision you make is yours. Whether it's me, someone like Jordan Royburn, Avi Gilbert, David Morgan. If you're gonna blame them, then don't make the move. It has to be yours. So anyway, remember, not financial advice. Disclaimers below. I'll see you next video.